Let's go to the second question now, which is what are the fundamentals of a cloud kitchen? So firstly, many of you may know what is a cloud kitchen. Many of you may not know what does it mean. So let us simplify it today. A cloud kitchen is an internet restaurant that purely works on delivery for revenue, which means it offers only delivery. It is not a physical location. It is not a place where customers can walk up to you. It is not a place where customers can come and do a takeaway from your kitchen. It is purely based on delivery. Other popular names or other names by which cloud kitchens are also addressed are ghost kitchens, dark kitchens, virtual kitchens, or digital kitchens. So, to summarize, any restaurant which is purely based on delivery and generates its revenue only via delivery is called a cloud kitchen. To give you a few examples of how cloud kitchens operate and what are the prominent brands that operate in this industry, we've got Rebel Foods, which operates more than 13 brands as of today. So Behrouz Biryanis, Fasos, Lunchbox, Oven Story Pizza, all are properties of Rebel Foods, and they are purely into cloud kitchen business, and that is why you never see their physical outlets anywhere. Fresh Menu is another company which is purely into cloud kitchens, and lately there has been a trend of good prominent chains entering the cloud kitchen space. Massive restaurants by Zorawar Kalra, lot of Barbecue Nation, and all these players have now understood that cloud kitchens is the way to go because of how world has changed because of COVID, and probably because delivery is another source of income where they did not give so much of importance in the past. So it is a major change happening in the industry, and most of the brands which operate physically also operate into the cloud kitchen model as of today. So basically, cloud kitchens will have no sophisticated infrastructure, no physical dine-in or customer front, and no huge rentals henceforth. Cloud kitchens can also operate from any location, which means that you could even start a cloud kitchen from your own house or even from your basement. The money that you invest in cloud kitchens does not go necessarily into the infrastructure or building space for customers. It is mostly utilized in building your brand. And you can even run multiple brands from the same kitchen. Rebel Foods, for example, runs 13 brands from a single property. And lately, they've also tied up with brands like Wendy's and Madover Donuts. So all of these brands also are housed into Rebel Kitchen formats now. So there is no limit to how many brands can you run from one single kitchen. So let's address the first question, which is who can start a cloud kitchen. So basically, cloud kitchen can be started by anyone. If you may be a chef, you may be a student, you may be a housewife, you may be a home baker, you may just be a normal person with a business mindset, you may be an existing restaurant, you may be aspiring food entrepreneurs. Since the barrier to entry for this industry is very low, as far as you understand business and you are keen on doing a food business of your own, it does not matter where you come from. It is very easy to start a cloud kitchen today. These cloud kitchens make sense? Are these profitable at all? And whether you should be considering opening a cloud kitchen. So this is how the basic structure of the P&L of a cloud kitchen would look at a steady state. Now, by steady state, we mean that this outlet is at least 6 months old, because in initial months, you're bound to have a negative cash flow in your P&L. And once you reach the steady state, this is the commercial that you can expect. So just to simplify, if your sales is 100%, you can expect 22% on the lower side to be your commission going out to Zomato and Swiggy. You can consider about 8% for utilities and fuel. You can consider about 3% for marketing, rental at 8%, food cost at 28%, manpower at 10%, consumables at 8%, and general and admin at 2%. Now, depending upon your tie-up with the aggregators or the fee or the manpower, some figures may change. But this is the basic universal framework to identify what is your EBITDA going to be. EBITDA, for those people who are not aware of it, is earned before income tax, depreciation, and amortization, which is considering the fact that if you take up a loan to start your business, then that is where the amortization will play a part. So usually you can estimate about 10 to 11% at a steady state to be your profits, but it could be lesser as well depending on your tie-ups and your structure and your rental. But you could probably use this framework to figure out how much profits are you going to make over a period of time. Addressing the third question now, what are the components of cloud kitchens? And a cloud kitchen would require what all things to be taken care of when you're starting your business. So coming to components of a cloud kitchen, uh, team is something which you need if you want to operate a successful cloud kitchen. You need to have the right people in right places, the chefs or the culinary team, or if you're doing it on your own, you need to ensure that there is enough support available for you to deliver or dispatch orders when the orders come. The second component is a menu. You need to have a well designed, configured menu, which is very clear and very understandable from a customer's perspective. You need to have a location for your kitchen and good enough space so that there is no problem in dispatching orders even at peak sales. You need to have basic equipments in place, and you need to have vendor tie-ups in place for your groceries and everything. You need to have good packaging available at your disposal. You need to have the delivery infrastructure, which means Swiggy and Zomato ideally would take care of their own deliveries and orders. But if you're operating via your own website, you can sign up with a platform like Thrive and get Shadowfax and Dunzo to work for you. But if you're operating completely in isolation independently, then you need to have your own delivery riders either, or you can even tie up with the companies where they give you riders and you can give them per order fee, or you can tie up with part-time delivery workers. There is no end to what you can do here. Then you need to have good marketing in place and good branding in place, so that people's perception about your brand and people are prompted to buy from your brand. And then another important component is the website for e-commerce, where customer can come and order your food, and your presence on aggregator. Moving on to addressing a couple of myths about cloud kitchens. Myth number one. So people think that cloud kitchens need to be located in fancy areas of the town, and it is a very expensive affair. So this is completely wrong. The cloud kitchen setups do not need to be expensive or in prime real estate locations. However, they need to be near the delivery hotspots. For example, if you're opening in Greater Kailash, then you don't need to get a big property, expensive property in Greater Kailash. You can go to a nearby area like Zamrudpur, which is fairly cheaper, and you can rent a commercial shop, which is at lesser rentals, not visible to the customers at all, and it covers the geography of Greater Kailash as well. So basically, how aggregators operate is that from your location, they will give you a 5 kilometer diameter where you can deliver your food, and that is what you need to focus on. So it is a completely wrong myth that the cloud kitchen space needs to be expensive or in prime real estate. It doesn't need to be. Moving on to the second myth, that cloud kitchens are not professionally established and they are just unorganized kitchens. The reality is, other than a few unorganized players, which we can't help, most of the cloud kitchens today are operated by big companies, enterprises, even entrepreneurs who are passionate. So most of them are very professionally established and managed. Myth number three is that cloud kitchens need heavy investment. No, cloud kitchens do not need heavy investment. They can be opened with lesser investment as well. and it is fairly easy to create a name for your brand through a small investment via good practices of marketing and branding. So you don't need to buy imported heavy equipments for your cloud kitchens. You can just operate with a basic gas range and a refrigerator and a working table. It is fairly easy and does not require heavy investment. Myth number four is that cloud kitchens are not hygienic. So, primarily, you are supposed to have a FSSAI license for your cloud kitchens, which means that the basic hygiene needs to be in place because there is an inspection which happens before your cloud kitchen is given a license in most of the cities. In some cities, it does not. But then again, you need to get that license and you need to have the basic hygiene practices in place. And food is a sensitive topic anyway. Food is a topic where if you make a small mistake and keep your food outside, do not store it in the refrigerator, and you may have a pest or a rodent problem. That is exactly why the people that you hire, the people that work for you in your kitchens, or even entrepreneurs who work are fairly understanding, and most of the cloud kitchens today are pretty hygienic as far as my knowledge goes. Myth number five is that cloud kitchens do not have a strong business plan, which is incorrect. So, most of the cloud kitchens will have a strong business plan in place. Even entrepreneurs who start usually come up with P&Ls, projections, and financial feasibilities in advance. And with smart management practices and a little bit of knowledge of the functioning, the technology, marketing, and promotion, you can actually operate a cloud kitchen in a very professional manager with a business plan in place. All right. So now let's go to a couple of jargons or buzzwords which are used by people. So let's look at those words and understand what they are. So central kitchen is a commonly used word. It is a kitchen where if you're opening multiple locations for sales for your brand, then you need to operate one facility as a central kitchen where you prepare food and send it to all the other kitchen for sales. Now this is especially important when you're building economies of scales for your business. If you want to increase your EBITDA margin and you're operating more than 10, 20, 30 outlets, it would definitely make sense for you to go for a central kitchen. Then commissary kitchens are very popular buzzword. Commissary kitchens are the ones which help you do research and development. They help you do the visa or the pre-prep for your kitchens. So a commissary kitchen can also be called an outsourced central kitchen. So if you do not want to operate the central kitchen by yourself and you want that the commissary kitchen should do all your production, it is very much possible these days. Digital brands is again a buzzword, and many of the brands today are digital. By digital, we mean that they do not operate and own any real estate spaces. Example of this would be our brand called Vichy, where the brand does not own any point of sale locations. Their food comes from a commissary kitchen, which is completely outsourced. It works on a frozen chain, and the food is sold by other kitchen partners, which are called operating kitchens. And this is basically a kitchen as a service model. So Vichy will just own the IP, the brand, and invest into building the brand via advertising and marketing. Somebody else will produce the food for them, and somebody else will sell the food for them. Similar example, probably if you could relate to it, would be Red Bull. So Red Bull is not a beverage company; it's a marketing company. The Red Bull cans are prepared by a manufacturer. The cans are sold via distributors and via retail stores in the free market. So Red Bull does not directly do anything. It owns the brand and the patent, and it only puts the time, money, and energy into building that brand. So those are called digital brands.